So today on a REVO perspective, we're going to talk about community building and the art of community building. Now, I'm gonna dive right in as I always do. So bear with me. Um, so what I see a lot, you know, what I'm saying, in the conscious community or with people generally um, who say that they're building communities and things like that. I see a lot of individuals that do a lot of talking about what they're going to do, and there's not enough action. And I had a conversation earlier today which sparked this discussion where I see a lot of dudes calling themselves gods. I see a lot of dudes calling themselves kings. I see a lot of women calling themselves goddesses. I see a lot of women calling themselves queens. But when we come to community building, those words mean what? If you're a god or you're a king, you're a goddess or queen or whatever, then that means you must have immense power within your soul, right? You pretty much can do the unthinkable. You pretty much can do things that average people cannot do. So when it comes to building the community, now, if I say I'm a guy and I'm around four other guys that say they're gods, that means that if I'm building a community, we should be able to get that shit done fast because we're all supreme beings. It shouldn't be that much talking. I shouldn't have to be spending weeks and days and months talking to a person about building something. Right? Like right now, I'm in front of this house. Right? Before this house was even built, right? I'm looking at a new property. So before this house was even built, what had to happen? You had the plot of land and you had somebody who had a blueprint or a floor plan on how that house was going to be built, right? And then you have to figure out what materials it's going to take to build a house, and you're going to figure out how much money it's going to cost, and you're going to figure out who's going to build the house with you, right? If we're looking at community, that's the essence of building. The vision for the house, the blueprint of what you're building, the resources needed and the materials needed to build it, and the individuals that's going to help you build it, and a plan on how to sustain it forever. That's the essence. That's the Revel way of community building. That's how I look at community building, right? Now, what I see a lot of times, and I've been a victim of this situation, is that a person will talk to me to death over a phone or through emails about what we're going to do. And I'm like, man, let's go ahead and do it. You see what I'm saying? Let's go ahead and just build it. Why are we steady talking and we don't have anything tangible that we can touch that we build? All it is words. And when I have these discussions with these guys from the conscious community today, and they talking about the God, what's up, God, and and they talking to another dude talking about what's up, King, and goddesses and queens and shit like that. I'm just like, man, let's build a community. And I'm like, I don't have to build a personal connection with you to build something. I don't have to sit on a phone all day or email you all day for you to like me, for you to care about me, for you to see what my feelings are, so you to know how my family is or whatever, for us to build a house. You know what I'm saying? When people go build something like this house over here, like there's going to be workers over here, they're not going to sit down and start discussing all their personal business with each other before they build a house. That's not going to happen. They're not bringing their personal lives into building a house. You don't bring your personal lives in building a community either, especially in the beginning when you ain't built anything. Maybe after you built it, or maybe during that you're building it, maybe possibly. But man, them guys and workers have skills, just like in the community. We all have skills in the community. We all bring certain resources to the community to be able to build it. And then what we're going to do is we're going to sit down and we're going to discuss our skill set. We're going to discuss our resources. We're going to discuss what we can actually bring to the table in order to build that house or build a community. We shouldn't have to sit on no phone for months and weeks and shit talking about our personal lives and I have to care about you and shit in order to build a house, or I have to like you. No. That distracts us from doing what we need to do, because we spending so much time trying to like a person that we're forgetting about loving and liking the actual project that we're building. That's a distraction. Clean cut distraction. You know what I'm saying? Because when I just look at the results of stuff, right? I just look at the result. What can I physically touch in my hand, dude, that makes it real? It has to come in touch with my five senses. People fall in love with words, man. And we got to stop doing that. Stop falling in love with words and start falling in love with results. If I'm building anything, I'm falling in love with the results. I want to see what's being built. My focus on is what's being built. My focus ain't on, do I like you personally? Do I want to be with you, or do I want to kick it with you and all that type of stuff? Spend time with you? No, you need to spend time with the building part, the actual building part. Spend time with the business and get up and actually build something. Forget all them words. I fell victim to that shit. And DOH, Daughters of Hustle, I fell victim to that shit a long time ago. You know what I'm saying? Where I was really like getting in touch with the person and the individual that they got so attached to me that they forgot about the building process. And it happens like that all the time. I'm looking at a painter right now, right? A painter, this is why when I watch Spanish people, right? I watch Spanish people build houses, right? And I watch them do it. And it don't take them that damn long to build no damn house, man. When you got the blueprint and everybody had those means of what they need to do, every single person goes to that location and they knock out their shit. You feel me? So you have this painter, right? Now today is the painter's job, right? To go in and paint. So he's gonna paint the house. He's gonna paint everything that he's supposed to paint, and he's gonna be fucking done, and he's gonna be gone, right? He's gonna be gone for a minute. And then the plumber's gonna come in there. Then the electrician's gonna come in there. And sometimes people work together on their shit, but people don't get distracted by their personal feelings and personal relationships when it comes to building. Don't get distracted in that shit, man. Get more focused on building what you said you're gonna be able to build. And another thing too, before I end this, I don't have no problem with people in the conscious community. I don't care. I don't have a problem with anybody calling themselves a god. I don't have any, and this is directly to everybody in the conscious community or everybody in the spiritual world that call themselves that. I don't have no issue with it. So if you hear me talk about it, don't take it. Don't let your ego get the best of you and you start whining and crying about the shit. I don't care what you call yourself. You can call yourself motherfucking whatever. Call yourself a god. Call each other's gods. Call each other's kings, queens, and goddesses and all that type of shit. I'm a revo. And what I call myself, dude, and what I feel, I'm about the work. I ain't about the title. I ain't about what calling somebody else and shit like that. I'm about the work. You feel what I'm saying? So if whatever you call yourself and that empowers you and everything like that and your mind and your ego to feel a certain kind of way, then take that and channel that into the work. Come holler at me when it's time to do the work. When it's time to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning and build some shit. Actually build some shit with our hands and our mind where we actually can touch it. Call me then. Don't call me with words and want to talk all goddamn day and all night and all that type of what we are going to build and shit. Call me when it's time to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning or whatever time and actually build it with our hands. Go actually to these locations and stuff and see what we're supposed to be able to buy as land. Go actually get the resources to build houses. Go actually get the resources and stuff to be able to bring people in and have people donate and dedicate time and stuff to the project. Talk to me when it's the work time. I'm a revo. I'm not no God. I don't look at myself as being no God. I don't look at myself. Those are words that the white man gave us and programmed us for a certain type of self-esteem belief system within ourselves, man. I created my own word. I'm a revo, right? So the thing is and stuff like that, I don't like when I listen to that, I don't care. Call yourself whatever you want to call yourself, but let's get to the work. Let's get to the building. Let's get to pouring into the children. And another thing too, man, we spend so much time trying to build these relationships with other people and their personal lives, and we forget about our own children. We don't even pour into our own children. When's the last time you actually took your children out and did something with them? Versus the amount of time you spend on a phone talking to somebody about some shit that really is irrelevant to a certain degree. Because it's not actually building anything. There's words. Falling in love with words. We need to fall back in love with our children. We need to fall back in love with the next generation of children that's going to be the leaders of this world, man. Fall in love with that. Fall in love with their education. Fall in love with their souls and trying to get them to where they want to be able to be in life. You know what I'm saying? Stop falling in love with people's words and relationships and things like that. Like, how do you put a relationship before the relationship of your child? That's another problem that happens in a lot of communities. And I think it's unacceptable. Put your children first. Put yourself in a situation where you could be powerful. And then next, Put your children in your life. Pour all your love, all your dedication, all your loyalty into your children, not some random ass person you done met. So that's some person that I met down the street or whatever like that, because we get distracted like that. We meet somebody new, or we meet somebody over here, or it's a job, or it's whatever like that, and then we just forget about our children. And then we'll go and run after that shit or get so attached to that shit that we forget about loving our children. So we need to get back to that in communities across the world. You understand what I'm saying? So everybody have a good day today. Thank you for listening to this episode of A REVO Perspective. I'm gonna get back to building, right? Real building with something I could actually touch in my hand. You see what I'm saying? Not words. I don't fall in love with words. Remember, I don't fall in love with words. Don't fall in love with words with people. Fall in love with results. Fall in love with actual actions that's actually building what you say you want, where you can see it, where you can touch it, where you can smell it, where you can hear it. Shit like that. Fall in love with that. Fuck them words. Later.